Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, March 31st. It is 6:22 right now. Market's going to open in about 8 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, perfect. A few more things here. All right, great. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Make sure I mute everybody this time. Looks like we're good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here. All right, perfect. All right, cool. We'll get a few more moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started with our analysis shortly. It looks like people are still making their way in. All right. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, March 31st. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'll get a few more moments for people to join in on the room. But other than that, let's see who's here so far. Hey, Maria, morning. Morning, Martha. Morning, Sharon. Morning, everybody. So if you guys saw earlier this morning, there was some news event, I think at 5:30 per usual. Super high impact, and you can see how made the candle spike super heavily over here. Whenever you see a big spike like that, obviously you want to wait for the market to stabilize before you take any entries, because the market's obviously going to move a little funky. So let's see who else is here so far. Hey T, how's it going? Morning, Will. Morning, Nikki. Morning, Christian. Morning, Jason. Morning, Eunice. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So let's take a look at the news real quick. So looking over here at the news, let me go to my Forex Factory. So looking over here on Forex Factory, we had news over here at 5:30. It was core PCE price index, personal income, personal spending. It's pretty much a bunch of inflation news that came up over here at 5:30. I'll go and mark that up. It's not going to affect us too much because we're not really paying too much attention to it, but it's good to know. We have Chicago PMI over here at 645, some more inflation news, so something to be careful for when the market does open shortly. If we see anything before that, probably hop into it, but you want to be careful because inflation news is obviously going to affect the market super heavily. You can see how heavily it affected right here. I wouldn't be surprised if you see another crazy spike at 645. We have revised UOM consumer sentiment at 7 o'clock. Revised UOM inflation expectations at 7 o'clock as well. So it's more inflation news at 7 o'clock. Pretty much all inflation news today. Lots of inflation news. It could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. It could be a good thing because it's going to cause volatility in the market and it'll enable us to take trades. However, it'll be a bad thing because if you're in a position and you get a big spike like that, it can easily spike you out. So just want to be careful. Make sure you're probably not in a position at the time of the news, but it's okay to enter if it's before or even slightly after, as long as there's no crazy movements in the market. So we got those news marked up here from Forex Factory. We also have the entire Fed speaking today. So it looks like Fed Williams speaking at 12:05, Fed Cook speaking at 2:45, Fed Waller speaking at 7 p.m., which is weird for Friday. The Fed's speaking pretty much all day today. And then at 8 o'clock, we have ECB President Lagarde speaking as well. So we got a lot of news coming up today. Just all throughout the day, it's spread out. A lot of officials speaking, and then we have a lot of inflation news. I'm pretty sure they're just going to be confirming the inflation news and cover any questions that people may have regarding it. Other than that, there's more news over here at 9 o'clock. It's not really too necessary for us because we're not trading after 8, especially not on a Friday. But just to give you guys a heads up, if you guys do decide to trade after the live session, probably want to not trade because there's a lot of news happening after the live session as well, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then later in the afternoon. So, and another thing to keep in mind, just like what CSUK said right now, for one, it's the end of the month. If you guys are not familiar with like how the market works at the end of the month, at the beginning of the month, it's usually pretty risky because contracts are ending. But even worse, CSUK mentioned that today is the end of the first quarter of 2023. So end of the month and also end of the quarter. So you're going to see a lot of option contracts expiring. You're going to see a lot of trades just, kind of going around all crazy because people are trying to exit out of their option positions around this time. Everything kind of affects each other. Even if we're not trading options, there's option contracts that are underlying US30 especially, or YM, whichever asset you plan on trading. And they're going to be affected either way. So let's keep that in mind, end of month and end of quarter. Hey, AR, how's it going? Morning, Kevin. Morning, Iceman. Hicks also Trump indictment. Yeah, so we'll see what happens to Trump as well. I mean, I don't know if he'll get really arrested. He'll just turn himself in. That'd be crazy if he gets arrested. Hey, Dad, morning, Active. Morning, Karen. Morning, Alan. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market is opening in about 20 seconds, guys. So we'll see how the market moves in the next 20 seconds. Yeah, we'll just take the market as is. We're not going to be really looking for anything too crazy today. As I mentioned before in the past, guys, Mondays and Fridays are the riskiest days to trade. Mondays because people are re-entering the market from the weekend, and then Fridays because people are exiting the market for the weekend. So just keep that in mind. You're going to see a lot of crazy movement, and market is opening in 3, 2, 1. Market is now open. There goes the opening bell, and you guys can see how the market is starting to move a little crazy right here on open. So you guys can see that candle right there, huge spikes back and forth. All right, so we're not looking to take anything yet, but we will be looking for possible entries as price continues to obviously move along. If we get a buy signal here, it's technically going to be an entry for the strategy, but not one that I plan on entering because this candle is pretty huge. So obviously you can expect a lot of pullback on this candle here if and when it does close. So we'll see what happens here. We got 30 seconds left on this candle. Yeah, let's let it be. So no rush here, guys. You guys can see it's pretty much a continuation of what happened during news over here. So news was super bullish, market opening over here. People are re-entering on market open, following the news basically. So not planning on taking this trade here. I'll mark it up so you guys can follow it, but I'm not planning on taking it at all. It's just too crazy of a move. Right there, I would have hit TP, but it's just too crazy. I would hate to get into the position and then it just ends up going the opposite way, right? So if you guys took the trade, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. It's not the type of trade I would have taken. Hey, CJ, how's it going? Morning, Kenny. All right, let's take a look at CNBC real quick. Just refresh this. I think everything's bullish. So right here, the Dow's currently up 158 points. S&P's up 13 points. NASDAQ's up 23 points. Russell 2000's down -3%, or sorry, -3 points. VIX is currently down less than a point. Some updates over here on the Trump indictment. So Trump indictment, live updates, details on charges against former president are not expected Friday. So probably not until next week. So other than that, that's about it. Let's go back to the charts over here. Yeah, so if you guys took the trade here, full CP. If not, it's completely fine. We'll wait and see what happens next. Hey, LW, how's it going? Morning. All right, guys. Now we're just sitting tight. We have a higher high right here. So if we get a sell signal, possible entry for a sell. Got that higher high right there. We'll see if price breaks and close below. If we do, then great. If not, then it's fine as well. Just gotta sit tight and wait. I just copy this over real quick. All right, it's gonna post this up on social media real quick. Yeah, but there's nothing for us to take, so no big deal at the moment. All right, so there's another higher high that was just produced, guys. So we're still waiting for this correction back to the downside to come up. But yeah, still not available. All right, got that posted up. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, solid. All right, so we'll see where this ends up going. Alan's asking, did the report come out saying who's long or short? Nick's referring to the retail sentiment, but Alan's referring to the COT data, Nick, so it's different. Let me check real quick. Here, I'll just pull it up on my end first. Commitment of traders. No, they haven't updated yet for this one yet, Alan. I think it's later today. Maybe it's like later in the day. I don't see it here yet. It's supposed to be released today though, so maybe at the end of the this session. But yeah, no, you're fine, Nick. What Nick's referring to, if you guys are kind of confused, is he's referring to the retail sentiment, which indicates, where the retail traders are trading. The COT data shows both retail and it shows institutions. So that's kind of what Alan was looking for, but it hasn't been released yet. All right, if we get a sell signal right here, guys, possible entry for a sell. You guys got to actually wait for it to close. Keep that in mind. All right, so no sell signal there yet. We have another possible opportunity right here. So if this here closes, possible entry for a sell there. But yeah, I'm on the website right now. I don't see it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know when it is released exactly. I know it's released today, but probably at the end of the session, if not mid-session. All right. Yeah, Glenn says sentiment's been useless these couple of months. Yeah, I know the sentiment hasn't been very strong. It's been like in the 50 to 60%, not anything over 60. So it's been kind of not too useful as it used to be in the past. All right, we have a pending sell signal here, guys. If it closes, possible entry for a sell. If not, then, again, we're just gonna have to wait. So no sell signal there, at least no valid sell signal. We have one more opportunity right here. Again, I don't like when the market moves like this. You know, when the signals keep appearing and disappearing, the market starts to go sideways. This is typically where you don't want to make entry, but we'll see if there's a signal that comes up and it actually closes. At the moment, though, there's nothing for us to take right now. It's kind of just a sideways movement. If you guys have noticed this, I mean, this whole week it's kind of been like this. Typically, it's a pretty smooth move. You'll get a sell signal. You could hop in and then it'll go right to TP. Whenever the market moves sideways like this, it'll typically take forever for the signal to come up. Lots of pending signals, and then it just keeps going sideways for a while. Yeah, exactly. Nick said he may not take this one unless it has good movement. Yep, same here, Nick. The movement right here is not good. It's just going sideways. There's not too much going on. Let's see if this here closes. Again, no closure. So still no entry there, guys. I'll put the criteria for the strategy up here in case you guys are wondering. But yeah, there's no movement here. And it does not look like we're going to get an entry because there's new high low in between. And I think this here will probably close. So if it closes, or I mean, not close, but establish. If it establishes, we're not going to be able to get past it because there can't be any high lows in between. All right, maybe another one here, but if there's a high low here, basically this candle has to close below this high low. It's going to have to push down pretty heavy. There we go. So there can be a possible entry right here. So movement now in this candle. But again, you guys have to wait for it to actually close. All right, we got 10 seconds left on this candle here. 4, 3, 2, 1. I figured it was going to pull back a little bit. I'm going to put a sell stop there to catch it as it comes back lower. All right, so I didn't enter it right away, guys, because the candle there was kind of big. So I was kind of waiting for it to pull back down. So we'll see if it comes back down right here, put a sell stop right there to catch it. I typically don't trade like this, guys. So I just been trading like this for this week because we've had a lot of weird candles like this and the market's kind of been going, you know, back and forth and sideways very often. So for lately, I just been doing it like this. Typically I'll enter it right away, but this is just not one of those types of, you know, market movements where I want to get in right away because I typically expect it to at least retrace a little bit. So right here, guys, we have a higher high. Right here, we have a valid sell signal. Price broken close below the pivots. It's a valid entry. But I just waited for it to pull back a little bit like it did right here. So I'm not in the position yet. If the position comes back down right here, it's going to fill my order and then I'll be in the position. If not, then I'm just going to sit out and wait. All right, I didn't fill it yet. Got close, but not yet. Typically, I'll enter a market order and I'll get in right away, but just because the market's been going sideways and I just haven't liked the movement, I haven't been entering right away. Because I do feel like it's going to retrace. I probably should have just entered for a discount, but it's all good. I don't want to get greedy. I'm going to let it play out. And then if it fills, it fills. See, Glenn mentioned maybe this new strategy works very well if we be trading in this with sentiments in our favor. I don't think that'd be the case, Glenn, because if we did that, then we'd never have entries because the sentiment hasn't really been in the favor. It hasn't really been heavy in one side for like the past couple of months. You wouldn't have any entries for like a very long time. So I don't think sentiment would be too useful in this case for the most part. So my position still hasn't filled, guys, just an FYI. I put a sell stop right here. So I'm waiting for it to come down. When it comes down, it'll fill. I just don't want to get greedy and enter for a discount up here. I mean, I probably could enter for a discount, but I'm not going to. I'm going to wait for it to come back down and fill my order because I want to get in at actual entry point. And just, you know, the way that the market's currently moving right now is just kind of like a sideways movement. There's not really too much going on. If price ends up coming up here, I'm gonna cancel my order. So just an FYI, that's why I'm not gonna enter it right away, because I want to be sure that it's actually coming back down. So I have a pending order right here for a sell. It's a sell stop order. So when price comes down, it automatically fills my order and then I'm in the position. However, if price pushes up past this area, I'm going to just cancel it. So I don't really have risk right now. There's no risk involved because right now I'm not holding on to anything. So just something to keep in mind, guys, if you guys are in the position or if you guys are thinking about entering it. So I'm still holding it right now, but I'm probably going to pull out of this here if, okay, so I'm going to cancel my order, guys. I have my pending order here that was waiting, never came down and fill it. So I'm just going to cancel it. If you guys have noticed from the data that I showed you guys, most of the losses came on Friday. So that's why today I'm like extra careful. I'm extra careful on Mondays and Fridays because Mondays and Fridays are typically going to be the more riskier days to trade. So, all right. So I never got in that position, guys. So I'm not going to count it. Of course, I'm only counting the positions that I'm actually taking. I gave you guys a heads up before entering it. I said I was going to take it a little bit later because I expected it to pull back. And that's kind of what happened right here. So waiting for the next one here. So I kind of just missed that bullet right there with the sell stop. This is why a sell stop is important in some instances. So for example, if price is pulling up super heavy like this, it's better to just put a sell stop and wait, because if you don't, then you're going to get caught in this like crazy movement right here. And there's just a lot of stuff going on today. So like not just the fact that the market is going sideways, also the fact that we had this big inflation candle over here. So this is a big thing. And then also we have news over here as well at 6:45, which is more inflation news. So that's why I was being a little more careful here than I typically am, because in a lot of cases, I would have entered for a discount up here. I would have just entered when it pulled back and then would have got in for more profit, but it's all good. For today, I'm not really looking to take any unnecessary risk. There's just a lot of inflation news today. If it was regular news like oil news or something like that, it wouldn't be a big deal. But if it's inflation or recession news, that's something that's going to obviously affect the market pretty heavily. So on to the next one. Just waiting for the next one here to play out. Hopefully we'll actually have a good and solid entry, but if not, we will just wait for entry to come up. Lucas is asking, how can you show how to set a sell stop on MT4? So all you have to do is click on the area where you want the sell stop, Lucas. So if you, like, for example, like say this is the MT4 chart. I can't drag it over because it's going to corrupt the file. But say, for example, this is the MT4 chart. When the price is pushing up right here, all I do is I put my clicker right there. I right click. And then if you right click on MT4, it'll say trading and you can put a sell stop right there. That's how you would do it. So I just put my mouse right there. I right click, it'll say trade, and right here, it'll say sell stop. It'll say buy limit or sell stop. So I click on sell stop there, and then I edit the information. So I'll set the sell stop. I'll double click on it to change it, basically right click, modify, and then I'll change the lot size. And then I'll also change the TP stop loss. So you're just adding 10 you're subtracting 10 for the TP and then adding 30 for the stop loss. So it's not too difficult. You just put your clicker on there, right click, and then go to trade. It'll say sell stop. And then if you want to take it off, you just right click on it again and then cancel order. That's basically what I did. Yeah, Nick also mentioned you can also right click and hit the sell stop button, and it'll execute where you. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, Nick. So that's literally what I said. If you right click and then you go to trade and it says sell stop, you click on that and it'll come up, and then you have to modify it to put your TP stop loss in there. So yeah, that's basically what I do. I know it's a little work, but it's not too difficult. Like once you do it a couple times, it'll be simple. Like for me, I just right click, set the sell stop, and then it doesn't take too long for me to edit it. And then if it fills while I'm editing it, I'll just edit it while it's filled. You're just adding a couple numbers. All right, so we have another news candle right here. There's not as much movement on this one. I'm still looking for an entry here, guys, so don't worry, we're still waiting for something here. There's just a lot of news events that happened a lot, like very nearby. So we had the news over here pre-market. We had the news coming up over here at 6:45, and then we have one more over here at 7 o'clock. I'm still looking for entries, but just depending on the candle, like for example, if the candle is big like this, then I'm probably gonna be waiting for that pending order. If the candle's small, like something like this, like or a regular size candle, I'll take it like right away. But if it's something that's really big, then obviously I'm going to hold off on it. So what else I got here? All right, Nick, we'll see you back here on Monday. Yeah, no, you gotta make sure you gotta keep your trade psychology on point. So if that's the case, yeah, just wrap it up, come back on Monday, and then bounce back then. I got to finish the data too, guys. So looking over at the data set, I mean, if you guys saw, the only losses came like on Friday, for the most part, from the back test. So like basically all the days had like straight wins except for like this Friday over here on March 3rd. And I think that was it. And then what? Yeah. So if you guys saw here, the only losses that we have from our back test are for Friday. So Friday, March 3rd, there was losses. And then Friday, March 17th, there was losses. So this is why I was careful with, I'm careful trading on Fridays because like literally every other day, there's no losses. So this is the whole back, not the whole back test, but the back test of basically the entire month of March. I got to finish like the last week over here, but for the most part, you guys can see over here that the only losses came on Friday. That's why I'm very careful on Fridays, because if like the data shows that those are the only days where there's losses, then obviously I'm going to hold off on those days. Let's see, question from Daniel. Daniel's asking, hi, Sean, was there a pivot scalp at 641? 641. Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, if the overall bias was bullish, so yeah, I don't know if you checked that, Daniel, but there's other criteria to look for the pivot scalp. So I don't know if you looked at retail sentiment, fundamentals, technicals. The fundamentals are bullish right now. The technicals, I believe, are also bullish. Yeah, it's bullish across the 1, 5, and 10. So with that said, yeah, that'd be a pivot scalp because overall bias here, retail sentiment might not be aligned, but fundamentals and technicals are bullish. Valid momentum signal there. Price is above the pivots, and yeah, that'd be the entry. So if you guys took that entry right there for a buy, applying the pivot scalp strategy, that would have been an entry, Daniel. So full TP off that one. Yeah, if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's okay. I'm still looking for these entries over here for the high-low scalp or the high-low momentum scalp, but we just don't we don't have anything yet at the moment. So just be careful today, guys. I showed you the data. All of the losses happened on Friday. I mean, given there was only 4 losses for the entire month, or not the entire month, but for this back test right here, there's currently 4 losses. There's going to be a lot more wins. So I think there's probably like 70 wins or over 70 wins. And then we had 2 losses this week. So that'd be 6 losses. So about like over 70 wins and only 4 losses. If I was to do and I think there might be more actually, because we got to cover last week's profits as well. So it'd be like maybe like 75 wins divided by 6 losses. So that'd be 81. Win rate's still pretty high. It's still at like 93% win rate. So if you incorporate, pretty much all the trades from March, it's a pretty high win rate. The only losses happened on Friday. And then for this week, it's just an iffy week based off the market movement. But typically you're going to get weeks like that. We haven't tested this on any other months, so we can't really say how consistent. But if you guys remember from like the past, whenever we trade, typically there's like one iffy week out of the month. And it seems like this is that week because we didn't have any losses for the past three weeks. So no losses for March week 1, 2, and 3. And then this week we have 2 losses, which happens. I mean, losses are going to happen, right? Especially if you have such a hot winning streak for a whole month like that. Let's see. Martha said that she took a loss off the high level momentum, but she took a win off the pivot scalp. Nice. Yeah. So played out perfect right there for you, Martha. Little recovery. Obviously, you just need a little more and you'll be back in the game. For you guys here who are still applying the momentum scalp failure and the momentum scalp variation and the momentum scalp, looks like there was a couple entries over here. So there's one entry here off this buy signal on open. That'd be the momentum scalp. Obviously, that one hit full TP. So there's a lot of trades here that would have hit TP. If you're applying any of my other strategies, a lot of them here still hit. Like this one right here was a momentum scalp. That was a full TP. There's a momentum scalp failure right here. That was another full TP. There was a momentum scalp variation right here. That's another full TP. And then another momentum scalp right there, full TP. So there's about like 4 wins right here. The only loss would have been this one high level momentum scalp, but we didn't even take that trade. Well, I didn't take it. So, I mean, it probably wouldn't even counted, but if you guys were applying any of the other strategies, it looks like there was like 4 wins here that happened on open. Opening candle, momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and momentum scalp. And a pivot scalp, if you want to consider that a pivot scalp as well. So, guys, just a reminder, I know most of you guys here have been here for a while, so you guys know that strategy. This is the strategy that we were applying before we started applying this one. I have a ton of strategies you guys can apply. So if you guys are new here, just make sure to pull up the course. If you guys want access to the course, it's completely free. Just go on the website, kodikaitrades.com, click on unlock your free access. And if you guys want to learn that strategy that I just mentioned to you guys right there, or if you guys just haven't really looked at it, just go over here to main strategies module 4, momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, momentum scalp, and the breakout as well. Let's see, the breakout would have happened on this opening candle. I don't know if anybody took the breakout this morning, but the breakout would have happened right here, and it's still technically running at the moment. It's running in profit right there. All right. There's nothing for us to take right now. We're still waiting for this here to play out. Let's see, Patrick said he's still in the breakout. Got in a bit late because it spiked so fast, so it'll be a partial move. Solid. Nice work, Patrick. So yeah, if you're in profit right now, I would at least move your stop loss in profit, but it doesn't look like it'll probably hit your TP. Yeah, it's on its way up there right now. So what I would do here, Patrick, is I would move your stop loss at the basically any candle with a big wick. So I'd probably move my stop loss like right here in profit. So it's not too close. Probably move right there. Pretty much guarantee profits, and then also not be too close to get stopped out too early. But again, that's my preference. If you want to hold on to it as it is, feel free. Yeah, the breakout is currently running right now. Gotcha. Okay, Patrick. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, no, it's tough when because he took trades in 2 directions. That's like, for me, I think that's like really risky. If I would like stick to one direction, but it's all good. Looks like you're making it back on this position though. Let's check the chat over here real quick. All right, here's some profits from CSUK. So CSUK locked in a total profit of 2,450 for the day. Looks like you took partial of the breakout or part of the move, it looks like. His second account over here up 2,850. Nice work, CSUK. And his third account total profit of 2,400. Solid. All right, so it's solid work right there. Still nothing for us to take right now, guys. We're just waiting for something here to play out. Kenny said, my MT4 is messing up, moving slow and pausing for a few seconds. I'm not having any issues with my MT4, Kenny, so it looks like it might be your internet connection. Yeah, because mine looks fine. I'm not sure if anybody else is having issues with their MT4, but mine looks, I mean, it looks the same. The market is moving slow, so I'm not sure if like you didn't realize that the market's moving slow, but it is moving kind of slow right now. Starting to pick up a little bit right here. There's another possible entry here for a sell, guys, but we do have news again coming up shortly in about 3 minutes. So you just want to be careful. So that's the reason why I was a little careful about this position here, guys. It's the same thing that happened. So you can see that the news happened like a few seconds after, and the news basically pushed price the opposite way. So same with this one over here. You might want to be a little careful with this because the last thing you want to do is be in a position and then news happens and it spikes it out of the way. I mean, it's fine if it's on the actual news candle, but if it's like so close like this, where it can easily just push it the opposite way, without any disregard to like price movement, then it'd be a little too risky. So for example, there's another entry here, not in this position yet. I was waiting for it to close and it's too late for me to enter. Fuck, it's too late. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. I was waiting for it to pull back a little bit so I can put my sell stop, but it just dropped right into profit right there. So it's too late for me to enter. I'll just follow it for you guys. If you guys are in it, looks like it's about to hit right now, but it's too late for me to enter the trade because I was trying to do the same thing I did earlier. I was going to wait for it to pull back a little bit. Sometimes it pulls back. Sometimes it goes straight to TP. For this one right here, it looks like it's going to go straight to TP. It's all good. I'd rather be safe than sorry, especially on a day like this. So if you guys take it right here, full TP. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it. I was going to hop into it, but I did not get a chance for myself to close it in or lock it in actually. Because initially I was waiting for this candle to close. As soon as it closed, I was like, okay, I'll wait for it to pull back a little bit. It didn't pull back at all and it went straight to TP. So it looks like Kevin caught it. So Kevin said he's out already in profit. Christian as well caught that. So nice work, guys. If you guys caught it, great work. If you guys didn't, it's fine. Unfortunately, I wasn't fast enough to catch that position because it just went straight to TP right after. These are the type of positions that you want to be in, the ones that go straight to TP after like a minute or two, because this is how the position is supposed to run. It's a scalp strategy. So you're not supposed to be in the position for that long anyways. So you guys can see the difference here between this position and this one over here, right? This candle is a normal size candle. It's not a huge candle. This one over here was a big candle. Also, we had news that was like literally right after it. Same with this here, but you guys can see the difference in entry. This one here looked like a smooth candle because it looked like there was still movement that was ready. This candle over here looked like it was due for retracement. That's why I didn't take it right away. But it's all good. If you guys caught it, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. Just wait on for the next one. So there goes the entry right there. Let's see. Kenny said at least I'll be able to attend the mentoring session on Monday, off a regular work till Wednesday. Nice, Kenny. Yeah, you can hop onto that session and then we can probably cover some stuff to help you, get stuff down a little better. Let me scroll up a little bit. So LW is asking, in the strategy, what do you mean on the first note? No high lows in between higher highs or lower low. Okay, I think you might be confused with it. Yeah. So LW is asking, in the strategy, what do you mean in the first note, no high lows between higher high or lower low? It's like literally what it means, right? So like, for example, here, there's a higher high. There can't be a high low in between it, but there's not always going to be a high low in between it. Like, for example, here, there's an entry right here, right? There's a sell signal. There's no high lows in between it, right? Let me show you an example of where there's a high low in between it. So for example, here, there's a higher high and there's a high low right here, right? There's no sell signal, but if there's a sell signal that came up after it, there'd be a high low in between it. So like the strategies are very simple and like they're literally what they mean. Like if you just read it out loud, like just read it out loud. If there's a high low in between. Yeah, exactly. LW. So it's like, so LW said, okay, between the signal and the high low. Yeah. So like there just can't be one in between. No, because you're looking for the entries here. So these are just notes. So like, for example, if you're looking for the entries here and then you're adding the note in between. So like if you're looking for these criteria, you just want to make sure that you have the criteria, but you also don't have these in between. Does There's no high lows in between the higher, lower low, and there's no momentum signals in between. So you can't have like a sell signal and then have a buy signal and a sell signal, right? It's got to be a straight shot. You got to have a higher high and then a sell signal like right after it. And then that's where you make your entry because it's just a straight move. Basically, what you're doing with these higher highs and lower lows is you're identifying the tops and bottoms. So if you're identifying a top and bottom, you can't have high lows in between because it's not going to be a top or a bottom, right? Because there's going to be another top bottom in between. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like, for example, here there's a higher high and there's a sell signal, right? No high lows in between. It's a straight shot. Like, it's just a straight push down because you're basically identifying the top right here. And then you're identifying momentum as a continuation to the downside. And then you're pretty much just riding this down in that direction. Yeah, no, it's all good, LW. So let me go and just change this up a little bit. We have another higher high right here, but there's a sell signal that's already active. So there's not going to be another sell signal that will come up. We need to look for a possible lower low with a buy signal right after. Kenny said, FYI, it's WrestleMania weekend. Yeah, I haven't seen wrestling in I thought WrestleMania was like in the summer, or that might be something else. I can't remember. But yeah, it's crazy how wrestling, well, not wrestling in general, but like, you know, WWE and stuff like that is still running. I used to be like the thing back then. I mean, it still is for a lot of people, but yeah, I used to watch WrestleMania every year. WrestleMania and all the other little smaller ones. LW said, might explain why the market is moving like that, right? Everyone's getting ready. Yeah, no, Kenny said SummerSlam is the main one in the summertime. Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah, I thought Vince McMahon was going to sell WWE like a bunch of times, but I think he's still around. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Patrick said, I'm from the era when it was still WWF. Yeah, WWF, WCW, ECW. I'm like from that era back then when there was like a whole bunch of them that were you know, competing against each other. Yeah, Dijon said it doesn't operate well without him, so that's why he never leaves. Yeah, I don't think he can ever leave. Honestly, he's like a staple. Was he MT4? Maddie said MT4 has been weird. Took a high low and it hit TP, but it kept me in the trade. You know, it might be the spread, Maddie, because that's what happened with me this whole week. So if you guys remembered, like this whole week, I've been pulling out of my positions like when it hits TP on TradingView because I don't know if it's a spread or what, but like I could see it flickering yellow on my MT4, but it doesn't close me out. So I just been pulling out a little earlier. Yeah, I'm not sure, Maddie. But I've had the same issue this week too. It's only been this week though. It hasn't been any other week. I don't know if I have to restart my computer. I probably have to restart my computer. I haven't turned off my computer in like 2 months. So I might have to restart it to reset it back down. All right, so we have a lower low right here, guys. This is pretty much what we're looking for. There's a lower low right here. We're looking for a buy signal after this. So we got a lower low here. I don't care if it continues to drop lower. It's perfectly fine. But we do have a lower low right here. So we got the LL. Next thing we need is a buy signal that breaks and closes past the pivots. So we're basically waiting for price to break and close past the pivots above. Once we have that there, possible entry for a buy. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Kenny said, yeah, Vince is still around, but Vince bought WCW, ECW, and a couple others. Yeah, he pretty much just merged them all together, right? Which made sense. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever been to like one of those wrestling events, but it's crazy. They have like a like they sell out like a whole stadium. Like I think they had it at Staples Center one time, or I guess Crypto Arena now. And like I didn't go to it, but I saw pictures of it, and it's pretty crazy. It's like a little hockey game or a basketball game, but like they fill up the entire stadium. It doesn't really look like it's that big on TV, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, anyways, guys, off track right here, but we have a possible buy entry right here. If the buy signal comes up, then this is going to be an entry for a buy. No buy signal, so no entry yet. Waiting for it to close. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle right here. All right, we got 10 seconds. I don't think it's going to close. It's not closing. All right, we have one more opportunity right here, pending buy signal right there on that candle. So we got the alert. We just got to wait for that buy signal to break and close past this blue line right here. If it breaks and closes past the blue pivot with a buy signal, there's going to be an entry there. If it closes as a normal candle, I'll enter right away. I'm just going to enter an immediate buy entry. Just got to make sure it's not a crazy candle. I think that's the main thing to look out for here. If it doesn't close like a huge candle like this one right here, I'm not going to, then I'll enter it. If it's like a normal candle like this one, then yeah, I'll enter it. But again, you guys got to wait for the candle to actually close. So make sure to keep that in mind. 15 seconds left on this candle. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Candle is there, and I'm in the position. All right. Now it's gonna watch and pay attention because I don't want this to like hit my TP and then not close me out again like it did before. It's been doing that lately this week. It's kind of annoying, but it's just how the market's moving. Sounds like a typical Friday. The market's not moving like smooth at all. It's kind of just, so like the last trade was pretty smooth. This one's not as smooth. The one before that wasn't as smooth. It's kind of just like a back and forth. I'm in this one though, guys. So this one is counting. Damn, this thing is not really moving smooth at all. I was hoping it's going to be like the last entry, but this one's kind of just going back and forth. But everything here lined up. All right, if this hits my stop loss, it's fine. I'm just going to take this as a Friday. But it's all good. I'm holding on to the position, guys. I'm just going to let it run. I got my TP stop loss set up. It's all good. This whole week's been kind of choppy though. But this one is moving a little iffy compared to like the first one that came up over here. This one didn't hit right away like the last one. So we got another lower low here. Price is pushing right back up. I mean, everything lined up though. So criteria is met. I don't know if there was news right now. Let's see, what time is it? 7:10. News was at 7 o'clock. So the news candle was like right over here. It's been a while. I mean, it hasn't been too long, but it's been a while since the news. So the news happened right here. Entry was over here at 7:09. So we did have some time in between. I don't know if there's anything going on in the news that's causing the market to kind of move like this, but I mean, the market's been moving pretty sideways all week long. So there hasn't been a smooth move at all. The Dow's currently up 160 points. S&P's up 20 points. NASDAQ's up 67 points. Russell 2K's up 17 points, and the VIX is currently down 1%. So I don't really see anything going on. I mean, aside from the Trump indictment, there's some S&P news here. Obviously, S&P news is going to be directly correlated with US30. I don't know when they reported this, 10:09. So this was just reported a couple minutes ago. So I don't know if this is why price is kind of moving a little weird, because they did announce that S&P rose as stocks wrap up a volatile but winning first quarter. So I don't know, maybe the market's just moving negative because they just reported that the market was good. Typically, that's usually what happens. If CNBC reports something, then the market typically does the opposite. So they just reported this at 7:09. That's like literally when we took the entry. So as soon as we took our entry here, trade's still running. As soon as we took our entry, because our entry time came up right here at 7:09, that's when this news release was like literally released. You can see right here, updated Friday, March 31st at 10:09, which is 7:09 our time. So they released this saying that the S&P is good. If they refer to the S&P, it's also referring to US30 because they both mirror each other. But yeah, other than that, this is the only thing that I can anticipate what's causing price to kind of move down right now. Typically, the market does opposite of what CNBC reports. Other than that, I don't see anything else here really affecting the market. I just don't like how US30 is moving. Some more Ukrainian-Russia war over here. So Ukraine war live updates. Wimbledon reverses ban on Russia and Belarus athletes. Turkey approves Finland's NATO membership, etc. I'm just trying to figure out like why has the market been like this for? I mean, there's been a lot of like stuff going on throughout the week, but nothing specific that's like causing price to really. The position's still running, guys. Just FYI, still running. I'm just trying to look around and see if there's anything for us to kind of dig up and see what's going on here, but nothing specific aside from the Fed speaking later today. But they're speaking like way later. So going back to the news calendar from today, the Fed is speaking today. We have ECB President Lagarde speaking at 8. Then we have Fed member Williams speaking at 12. We have Fed member Cook speaking at 2, and then Fed member Waller speaking at 7. Yeah, but other than that, there's not really much else going on. We have, the revised UOM consumer sentiment was a sell. Position's still active, guys. I mean, if it hits my stop loss, I'm going to take that loss, and then I'm probably just going to sit out the rest of the day, because today's kind of feeling like that one Friday that happened on the 3rd, where like basically all the losses like piled up on that day for the month, because there wasn't very many losses this whole month. The only losses were on like March 3rd, which was a Friday, and then March 18, which was a Friday as well. And then I believe for this week, we had one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. But for the most part, overall wins are pretty heavy. Yeah, Daniel said you're so right about CNBC. Yeah, and whenever CNBC reports something, like market typically does the opposite. So hopefully it does correct back up. I'm still in a position, so my position is still active right now. But if it hits my stop loss, I'm just going to eat the loss. It's losses are part of the game. The thing with losses, guys, though, is if you guys eat a loss, you have to like call it a day, or not call it a day, but you have to like make sure you don't revenge trade. Because that's like the thing that really destroys people, right? I think the problem with a lot of people who trade is that they don't have the self-control to sit out once they take a loss. For me, typically, I don't really lose trades very often. So when I do take a loss, it's usually just a sign that the market's not moving how I need it to move for that day. So like usually if I do eat a loss, I'm just done for the day. That's just like typically how I see it, because we have such a high win rate that if it's a good day, the market's going to keep hitting your TPs back to back to back every day. But if you're not having a good day, then it's going to give you the opposite, right? So I'm still in the position though, so don't worry, guys. I'm still in the position. I haven't pulled out of it. I'm just gonna let it be, because like that's how you got to be with your positions. You got to let your trade psychology play out. Let's see. CJ said, could it be FOMC? Possibly. I mean, the Fed's speaking later today, so what might happen is price might be manipulated to the downside, and then when the Fed speaks, price might be pushing right back up later today. So later today, we have Fed member Williams speaking at 12. So, I mean, who knows? Price may be coming down a little bit, and then later today, price might be coming right back up, right? As soon as the Fed starts speaking. It's not unusual for something like that to happen. So, yeah, John also mentioned that the candles are getting tiny. Yeah, the volume here is just dying down. This is kind of like how the market has been past couple of days. If you guys have noticed, the volatility is very high on open. So market opened right here at 630, candles are huge. And then all of a sudden the candles start to get tiny and small. When the candles get small like that, typically it's preparing for a breakout. So it's probably going to break out in one direction or the other. But yeah, I'm still in the position. If I got to get pulled out of this, then it's perfectly fine. I'll just take that as my signal to call it a week, or call it a month, actually, because we've had a pretty good month so far. Unfortunately, this week, though, I've just kind of been giving away profits. Okay, so hit my stop loss. It's all good. We're gonna count this as a loss, guys. This week is the only week that we've had losses for the entire month of March. I don't know. The market's just not moving our way this week. So count that as a loss right there, guys. Unfortunately, I'll keep looking for trades, but I think for me personally, since we had this this trade over here that lost, I didn't take this one though, thankfully. So I didn't take this trade over here. This one was a win, and this one was over here was a loss. Obviously, if you have something that's a back and forth move like that, where it's not very consistent, it's probably a sign that the market is not. It's just not moving smoothly enough for you to have these types of entries, because these trades are based off momentum. But as you guys can see, the market's not really moving directional at all. So we're going to count this right here as a loss, guys. It's all good. It happens. And this is just clearing it up for the next week, which is going to be the first week of April. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up in the group. Fortunately, lost right there. All right, so I gave you guys a little update right there for that trade. So that trade lost. I'll keep looking for entries here, guys, but I don't think I'm going to take anything myself. I'm not used to having losses. So like typically if I have one loss, that's like a 1.5% risk loss for me, which is pretty much, I'm good with that, right? Once I have one loss, I don't want a revenge trade. So like the thing with a lot of people is when they take a loss, they try to re-enter a trade to compensate for that loss, and they end up revenge trading or over trading. It might be good for a little bit, but then you might end up just losing it back again. So I think, like who sent me the profits yesterday? I think Gian did, right? Yeah, like Gian, for example, the other day, he was doing good. Like he had one loss that we had on, I think Thursday. He had one loss. He made his profits back, and then he ended up taking one more trade, and then he ended up back to where he was before. So he basically made it back to break even, and then he ended up losing one trade, and then he just ended up back to where he was before. So for my advice, guys, if you guys don't feel comfortable with the market, it's better to just sit out than to keep forcing trades to make your way back. It's all good. It happens. Yeah, Christian said he's going to keep testing this on Fridays, but if it keeps giving him losses on Fridays, he will skip Friday. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, C6 said it was very overextended on the 5-minute, and pivots are starting to cross. With sentiment being at 58% sellers, very likely looking to lure in more retail, looking to sell right now. Yeah, no, and I agree too. Let's see, Dijon said, I'm trying to get better with my discipline and trade psychology, so I'm going to call it a day. See you all on Monday. Sean, I'm going to message you on Telegram over the weekend. Yeah, no, hit me up, Dijon, and we'll discuss. But yeah, for me personally, usually like my threshold is one loss. If I have one loss for the day, I'm like pretty much done. So I'll stay on this live session with you guys till like about 8. But for the most part, I'm pretty much not looking to take anything on my account. I'll look at trades and I'll mark them up, but I'm not going to be entering them myself, because it's just not this is just not the market that I want to trade in. So let me look over here real quick. We have Patrick over here. He's still in profit, thankfully, but he had one loss earlier and he had one win right after to cover it. So Patrick over here is up 65 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. We have Christian over here. Christian made 490 off the last trade. So nice work, Christian. Here's Patrick over here. He took a partial win on that last trade as well. 670 for the day. See, and Christian over here. So Christian is at negative for the day. Not a big negative though. So he's only down like 1,000, which is not a big deal, because it's just 1 or 2 trades up, and then he's back into profit. So it's all good. Off that one there. Here, Dijon took one loss right there. Kevin over here currently up 31,480 for the day. So Kevin's been doing pretty good. He's been taking trades both ways. Catch them as they swung. Here is Vincent. Vincent actually took the sell earlier today. So he took the sell, the one before this one. So Vincent took this trade right here, the higher high, the one that I missed, unfortunately. So this would have been better if I took this one and not this one. But there was a higher high here with the sell signal. He entered that for a short position. And he hit his TP. So this is the trade that Vincent took. He locked in a total profit of 721 on this account. So nice work right there, Vince. And then his second account locked in 30. So solid profit right there. Eunice over here took the loss, small loss, nothing too big. He's down 300 for the day. So it's all good. And here is, and that's about that. So let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Let's see, Dynamic D said he took 4 losses for him in a row. How did you take 4 losses, Dynamic? Did you take, well, I'm assuming you took your own trades. So that's probably what the case was. Because we only had, well, I mean, technically 1. If you took the other one, then it'd be 2. But if you took this one, you'd have one loss, 1 win, 1 loss. So you'd be like 1 and 2 right now. Oh, for the week. Yeah, so you didn't take any other trades, Dynamic? Yeah, because we had like, so how many wins did we have this week? Because I think I'm still in profit for the week. I only had 2 or 3 losses this week. But we had like a couple wins. I might be like slightly in the negative overall, but I think for the most part, I should be around break even. So let me just count the trades for this week so far. I just want to make sure my numbers aren't off. Okay, so this is Monday, March 27th. We have 1 win here. So there's 1 win right there, full TP. 2 wins right there. 3 wins right there. 4 wins right there. 6 wins right there. Okay, so 6 wins and 1 loss till Tuesday. 7 wins right there. 8 wins right there. So 7 wins or 8 wins and 2 losses. 2 losses right there. And then a loss right here. Okay, so we have 8 wins and 3 losses. So I think I might be around like either break even or around like with 1 small loss on top of it. So yeah, I mean, it's like we're basically at a break even week. If you guys took all the official trades, we're at break even, which is fine. I'd rather be at break even or for a small loss rather than having a big loss. But yeah, this is the only week that we've had those types of encounters, unfortunately. However, for the whole month of March, I think we're doing good. So if you guys have been trading with me live from the first week of March, here, I'll add it up real quick. So we had 17 wins, or no, sorry, for March. So for March, we have 13 wins plus 8 more. So we have about 21 wins and then 3 losses. So 23 wins and 3 losses for the month. So I think overall it's still pretty solid for the month of March. It's just this week has been kind of iffy. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, it's all good, Dynamic. You're going to bounce back from it. It's just this week's been kind of choppy. We don't really have that many losses in a week usually. It's like that's like usually for the entire month. But for this whole month, I mean, this whole week has kind of been kind of choppy. So it's all good. I'm still looking for entries though, guys. So I'm not looking to take anything, but I'll look for some entries for you guys. So right here, again, we have a lower low. We have a possible buy entry right here. If this closes here with a buy signal, there's going to be another opportunity for a buy. I'm not going to take this, guys, because, as I mentioned, due to my trade psychology, I don't want to take a trade and then have to worry about another trade. I want to just start off fresh on the next day. So if this closes here with a buy signal, I'll mark it up for you guys as an entry. But again, as I mentioned, I'm not taking the trade myself. So it's not going to count as an official trade, whether it wins or whether it loses. I'm not going to count it as a trade. So if it wins, great. But if it doesn't win, either way, I'm not going to count it. So I'm not going to count it if it wins, or I'm not going to count it if it loses. Either way, because I only count the trades that I take myself personally. There's no entry here. There's no buy signal. So we have another opportunity here for a possible buy. We still have the lower low. So price pushes above it and closes above these pivots. With the buy signal, then there'll be a possible entry for a buy. But again, guys, just a heads up, I'm not taking this position. I'm just marking it up for you guys to follow. All right, so yeah, possible entry right here. 30 seconds left on it. Candle's kind of big though. Yeah, candle's kind of huge actually. Yeah, Gian said he took 2 L's today, 1 partial after the first. So I'm gonna hit the gym. I'm out. I don't want to end up like what happened yesterday. Yeah, no, you pretty much made your way back and break even yesterday, Gian, and then you kind of blew it on that last trade yesterday. So probably best to just sit out if you don't need to trade. All right, so here goes the entry right here, guys. And of course, this one went straight to TP. So this is what I was looking for earlier with that buy that we took. I don't know if anyone caught it, but it did play out right there. As I mentioned, I marked it up. I'm not going to count this trade, though. I want to be transparent with you guys. The only trades that I'm counting are the ones that I'm personally taking. I didn't take this here. Unfortunately, I should have just taken so I can, offset my loss, but it's all good. But you guys can see the strategy still works. It's just you get some weird candles here every once in a while. Like we had one set, so we have two losses and 2 wins for the day. We had one over here, obviously was a loss. We had one over here, obviously was a win. We had one right here, obviously was a loss. And then you have another buy right here. That was obviously a win. So 2 wins and 2 losses for the day. Friday is just a weird day to trade on, I think, in general. So I don't know. Well, if this is the case, maybe I'm just going to sit out on Fridays, because Fridays are kind of just, Fridays are a trip, to be honest. Alan said, did you stop taking entries after 5 bars? What do you mean by that, Alice? Alan, sorry. Sorry, I'm kind of confused. Did you stop taking entries after 5 bars? Sorry, if you could rephrase that, Alan, because so the entry is based off the signal, Alan. So you have to take it off the signal. There's no bars in between or after or before. But like, for example, here, so see how the signal comes up? Like you have to take the entry on the signal. So we're not waiting for anything after or before. Is that what you're referring to, Alan? Because I'm still confused, sorry. I'm gonna reread it again because maybe I'm confusing myself. So your question is, did you stop taking entries after 5 bars once you get 5 bars after a signal? Oh, okay. So Alan missed a step. Yeah, because the whole strategy is based off the momentum. So this is their catalyst. If there's no momentum, there's no entry. So like your entry is always going to be after the candle closes. So like first you're going to identify a lower low, you're going to identify a momentum signal, and then you're going to confirm the break and close past the pivot. But like your entry is always going to be after the momentum signal. So like that's your catalyst. So if you don't have a momentum signal, there's no entry. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. If there's any other questions you have regarding that, let me know. I want to clear up any confusion you guys have. But I just wanted to show you guys that the strategy still works fine. It's just today's just a weird day. It's Friday. This was a loss. This was a win. This was a loss. This was a win. 2 wins, 2 losses. It's 50% win rate today. For the month though, it's up like 93%. So it's still pretty high. So yeah, if you guys caught that trade, great. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. I didn't take it, so it's not going to count. All right, so let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. Yeah, still looking for entries here, guys, but there's just nothing for us to take at the moment. What I do want to do, I don't have to do it here on the live, but I do want to finish the testing here. But again, guys, so here's the testing from the month of March. So I just want to show you guys so you guys understand here. So for the month of March, this isn't the entire year so far, or not the entire month, but this is just up until the 22nd. But between trades from 6:30 to 9, it's 60 wins and 4 losses. If you add on this week's trades, we had about like 8 wins this week. So, and then I think like 3 or 4 wins from the prior week. So it's going to be at about like 72 wins and then 7 losses here. Because we had 2 losses we had a loss on Tuesday, lost on Thursday, and then 1 loss today. So a total of 7 losses. So it'd be about like 72 divided by 79. So it's a total win rate of 91%. That's basically what it's going to add up to. And if you guys go through the data here, the only losses before this week were on Friday. So Friday, March 3rd, and then Friday, March 17. And then for this week, we had a loss on Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday. So it seems like Tuesday, Thursdays, well, Friday for sure is like a riskier day. And then Tuesday, Thursday, just from this week, there was news that day, so I don't know if that was affecting it or not, but that could have been one of the factors. There's another possible entry right here, guys. There's a higher high. I'm not going to take this trade though, so I'll keep marking trades up for you guys, but I'm not looking to take any of these because of how the market's moving. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see, price pushed up, and then now it's just going sideways. It's been a sideways move pretty much all morning. So we had this up here. And this down here. So as you guys can see, there's not really much going on here for today. It's price just going back and forth. We got this big bullish push on open, and then now price has just been going sideways the whole time. Other than that, currently have a higher high right here. So if you get a sell signal and price breaks and close past the pivots right here, possible entry for a sell. You just don't have anything right now specifically. So we'll see where this ends up, obviously where it ends up going. But it is getting closer to 8 o'clock. So we have like nothing to take right now specifically. Again, if you guys are looking for an entry here, you're basically looking for a sell signal, to break and close below the green and blue pivots right here. So looking at the criteria, first you want to look for a higher high or lower low. There's a higher high right there. Next, you want to identify a valid momentum signal. We don't have it yet, but when it does come up, that's probably what you want to look for. Nice. So Christian took that other buy, the one that we just marked up, and then he pretty much recouped some of his losses. So he made 550 off that last trade. He's now only negative 500 for the day. So one more trade, Christian, and you'll be back in a profit. So it should be pretty solid if and when that happens. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I don't really have anything else to really focus on today aside from these entries. Just for the sake of my trade psychology, I'm not going to take any more trades, but also look for some here for you guys. So I still like testing them out, even though I'm not taking the trades myself. And that's kind of like the discipline that you guys should have too. You should be able to still analyze the charts and not feel obviously forced to take entries. Like for me, I have pretty decent self-control, right? I don't feel the need to force any trades. So I'm kind of just watching the charts right here. All right, so this candle over here never closed. But this one here might. So this last candle here never closed. We have a higher high, looking for a sell signal to break and close past the pivots over here. Yeah, basically if you get a sell signal there, possible entry for a sell. Yeah, we just don't have anything yet. Let's see if there's anything else here. All right, if this candle here closes, possible entry. Again, guys, I'm not taking the position. I'm just marking it up for you guys. The candle didn't close, so there's no entry there. That's why you want to wait for the candle to actually close. So unfortunately, if this closed here, it would have been a good entry because it would have went straight to your TP, but it did not close. I mean, this is a pretty clear example as to like a choppy market and not a smooth market. So market has not been moving smooth at all today on Friday, or at all this whole week. There was still, so if we're counting the trades for the day, like we're still documenting the trades and counting them. There was a loss right here, a win right here, a loss right here, another win right here, and no entry right here. So this here is not going to be an entry. The reason for not being an entry is because we never got the sell signal here. Price did break and close past the pivot, but it did not close with the sell signal. So unfortunately, there's no entry right here. But for the day so far, if you're going to count every single trade that came up, there was 2 wins and 2 losses. For us, we only took 1 trade, which was a loss. So I'm only counting 1 loss for today, not counting any of the wins. And, just being transparent to make sure that you guys understand that, I'm just being straight up with you guys with regard to trades that we're taking. I'm not trying to like show you guys only wins. It's just the way that we've been trading. So like we've been having mostly wins. But there's going to be days where you're going to run into roadblocks like this, which is, completely fine. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. It's getting close to 8 o'clock though. So it's 7:40 right now. We've got about 20 minutes till 8. If there's any questions or if you guys are confused with any of the strategies here, just let me know. Just a reminder, we're only applying this strategy though. So we're focused on this. If you guys were following me before, like earlier this year, we were applying 3 different strategies. So initially we were applying the momentum scalp failure. And I'll put the criteria up here. The reason why I stopped applying it is because a lot of people were getting confused, or not really getting confused, but they weren't getting it properly. So if you guys remembered prior, we were applying this strategy here, these 3 strategies. And I think this strategy was just kind of complicated for new traders because there was just too much to look at. So we kind of reverted back to the high-low momentum scalp, which is a lot easier and simpler. So prior to us applying this strategy, we were applying the momentum scalp failure, momentum scalp variation, and the momentum scalp. So if you guys are still following the strategy, there's actually more entries that came up. There's about 3 wins that came up over here. There's 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins right there. And then also, let me see if there's another one that came up here. There's another one right here. I'm not sure if this one worked. Let me see. Yeah, so if you're applying the momentum scalp failure, there was one right here. That's a full TP. And then right here, there's a momentum scalp variation. That was also a full TP. This momentum scalp right here would have lost. This right here, momentum scalp failure, that would have won full TP. And then another momentum scalp variation right here, full TP. So if you guys applied the older strategy that we were applying earlier this year, you would have had a lot of wins. Probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1 loss, 1, 2, 3. So 6 wins and 1 loss for these strategies right here. This one over here, 2 wins and 2 losses. So as you guys can see, they're both high win rates still. It's just, it just depends on how you want to apply it. So yeah, just to, remind you guys, these are the old, they're not really old. We were applying this basically all throughout January, all throughout February, and then half of March until we started applying this one, because people would just get confused. There's 3 different strategies. So if you don't understand the strategy properly, you're going to get confused with this. But this one here is a lot simpler. So that's why we stuck to this one more often than these. Yeah, exactly. Patrick said, just a tough market to trade this week, no matter what strategy one uses. Trust your process. Exactly. So like for me, guys, like I mentioned, I'm not applying these right here during the live. I'm like literally just sticking to this one. So like what Patrick said, just trust your process. If you know it works. And the reason why I trust this one so much is because we have a pretty deep back test. So we have a deep back test for the month of March. It has a 90, well, from all of this week's wins and losses, we have about a 91 to 93% win rate, which I'm fine with. I'll take pretty much, the trades as they come along, and then I'll eat the losses as they come along as well, because I know that the win rate's high enough for me to balance out. So, but this week so far, we have basically a 91% win rate, or for this, not this week, for this month, for this entire month, about a 91 to 93% win rate. I'm okay with eating those losses because those losses are going to balance out with the wins that are to follow. So, all right. No entry here right now, guys. So I guess what we can do here, guys, because I'm not really looking to take anything, is I can continue the back test. I'll do right here in the background. We'll still look for entries, but I will continue the back test while we're sitting on here. So I'm not just wasting time because I don't want to have to do this over the weekend. It's just a hassle having to do this, but I wanted to finish the back test so that I can show you guys, what the actual win rate is. So I'll just leave this here, and then I'll open a clean chart over here. And then I'll just back test while we're going. So you guys can see how easy it is to back test, because back testing is not that difficult. It's actually really easy, as long as you guys know what you're doing. So what colors do I use here? Kind of green, blue, green, blue. All right, possible signal right there. There's no entry for us though, so just keep it in mind, guys. There's no lower low here, so there's no entry. What I'll do is I'll go back to March 23rd. I'm just going to do a really quick back test. I'm not going to take that long. And you guys will see how easy and how quick it is to back test this strategy. So I can show you guys the total for the month, because we're already basically at the end of the month. 23rd. So yeah, if there's any questions regarding this, guys, just let me know. I can stop and answer questions, but for the most part, I think this is going to be pretty quick and easy. All right, 6:30 over here. $6.30 is right there. So there's a loss right here. So as you guys can see, the losses typically happen like on Thursday and Friday. There's one loss right here. Yeah, one loss right there. It's gonna go on there, right there. This is 323, 23, 641. Sell, loss. Let's see if there's another one here. Nothing there. I don't know what was happening on this day on the 23rd. I don't know if something was happening because I'm like seeing like a couple losses here, but I'm not sure if something was going on this day. So maybe that was the case where there was news. I know there's like a lot of Fed news happening like towards the end of the month, at the end of the month of March. So I can't really say exactly. Nothing right there. I'm kind of curious now. Let me pull up the, well, I'll do it shortly. Oh, you know what? That's my bad. I didn't have my, I just realized I don't have my high lows in between. 641. Balance still fine. Okay, so this one right here was an actual loss. It wasn't because there was high lows in between. So there's a higher high there, but there was high lows in between. So it's just this first one here. Yeah, CJ said the 23rd was like that day we waited like 2 hours. Let me check the yeah, something was happening on the 23rd, guys, because there was a loss right here at 640, but we didn't take that trade. I don't remember why we didn't take it, but we have our results here from the 23rd. We actually didn't take that trade. I'm not sure exactly what it was. Oh, duh. Okay, my bad. That was actually not a trade either, guys, because there was lower lows in between. So my bad. I screwed up. There's actually no trades on there. It was just one trade. You're right, CJ. Thanks for the heads up. So there was actually no trade there because there was a lower high low in between. And then also right here, there was no trade because there was high lows in between as well. And then there was no trade until like way later in the session. I don't think we took it till like 8:30. It was right. No, that was a high low in between there. It was this one. So I think there was only one trade this day. And it hit CP. I was tripping. So I was like, there's no way we took that many losses because I don't remember taking any losses on that day. So 323.23 trade came up at 8:32. This was for a buy. It was a win for 100 pips. Yeah, that was it. So that was the only trade for that day. And then Friday, of course. Over here, let me go back to the charts. Still no entries, guys, so don't worry. We're not missing anything. If you guys are still looking for entries today, I'm still looking for entries on the chart. I'm just back testing this right now because I don't want to have to do this over the weekend. And it doesn't take very long for us to back test anyways. It's a pretty simple process. So if you guys want to go and back test it yourself, it's not that difficult. We only trade till 9, so it's not like a big deal. So basically 6:30 to, this was on Friday of last week. There's no entry there, no entry there. So as I mentioned before, guys, we're basing everything off the momentum signal, so it's easy to identify. So again, right here, this entry came up at 7:16 on that Friday. $324.23, 7:16. That was a sell, a win. Lower low right there. This looks like it was a win. Yeah. Obviously, it was a straight win. So again, right there. $8.16. Buy, win. Okay, so that's it for that day. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the back test because we don't have very much back to Monday. I mean, at this point, I could kind of just get down trades that we have from this week. So this is from this week, the 27th. 6:30. One entry right here, full TP. I mean, I don't even have to go and do all that extra stuff. 63. All right, let me go back to the charts real quick. Nothing for us to take here, guys. Still nothing. We have a higher high right here. So if we get a sell signal that breaks and close past the pivots 1 and 2 right here, there's going to be an entry for a sell. So I guess I can take a look at this first to see if it closes. Not taking the position, but I'll mark it up for you guys. All right, so there's an entry right here, guys. It's running in profit. It's about to hit TP, full TP. So if you guys took that right there, full TP, higher high, sell signal, broken close below the pivots, close right there, went straight to TP on the next. So as you guys can see, the strategy works very good. It still works fine. It's just that we got caught in this like crappy trade over here, which pretty much just threw me off for the day. But there's been a lot more wins today. So there's 2 losses and then now 3 wins. So one loss, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, and another win right here. So 3 wins and 2 losses for Friday if you guys are taking all the trades. I didn't take it, so it's not going to count, but I just want to show you guys that the strategy works very well. It's just we got caught in a shitty trade earlier. It happens. All right, back to the testing over here that I was doing. 327. Christian said he was in the restroom. And unfortunately you missed it, Christian, but it's all good. At least the strategy is hitting. So like, hopefully you guys are not discouraged from like the 1 loss that we had today. The losses happen. So just something to also understand that losses they're inevitable. They're going to happen. So like, for example, if, you just gotta roll with it. That's all I can tell you guys. Because I feel like with a lot of people, what happens is that people start to change strategies because, not because they're hard to apply, but because they think it stops working. But realistically, it still works perfectly fine. It's just that, there's just certain conditions where it just won't work very well. Another one right there. 327, 832. Buy, win. Yeah, LW said FTMO lagged here, couldn't take it. Yeah, it's all good. Happened kind of quickly. But it's all good, guys. If you guys are missing those trades, I'm still looking at the trades, so don't worry. Even though I'm back testing right now, I'm doing a really quick back test for this week because there weren't too many entries anyways. I'm still looking for entries here for you guys. So nothing there yet. We had a sell, full TP, looking for the buy, but there's nothing there yet. So we need a lower low here and then a buy signal. So as you guys can see, I know these strategies like it's like the back of my hand. So I could multitask and do so many things behind like while I'm following. This one right here didn't close above, so I'm not going to count that. But yeah, these strategies are super simple. They're not very difficult, so you should be able to apply them without having to think very much, which for a lot of people is a good thing. No entry goes is after 9. Let's go over to Tuesday. All right, so this one over here. All right, LW, we'll see you back here on Monday. No problem. CT mentioned, seems like liquidity issues everywhere, not slippage as much as jumping to stop loss and terrible price matching for flow. Yeah, no, exactly, CT. There's just been a lot of a lot of slippage where like people are entering trades and they're either entering too late or they're entering too early. But I mean, it's all good. It happens. It's all part of the game. All right, so I'm almost done with the back test, guys. I'm just so that we can wrap this up and you guys can see how everything pretty much played out for the month of March. I probably won't be able to finish it though because I'm not going to be on until 9, but I will try to get as much done as possible. 328.23, 654. I lost. Let me go back to the charts again real quick. So still no entry here, guys. What you're looking for here is you're looking for a lower low, but there's no lower low yet. If we get a buy signal here, then you're gonna start looking for a buy, but we don't have that buy signal that's closed just yet. Right, so this one over here kind of gapped a little bit, but it's still technically considered entry. Because this candle closed above it. Let's measure this real quick. I don't want to put up the whole marker. All right, another. No, that's no entry there. This one is at 7.2. At 801. I remember why we didn't take this trade here, but I'm gonna mark it up anyways. Because we disregard news, so it's not like makes any difference. 10. So yeah, those are all the trades from Tuesday. So as you guys can see, if you guys want to back test this, it doesn't take very long to do the back test. I might be making mistakes here and there, but they're not really like horrible mistakes. They're just small ones. $6.30. So I had TP. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember having 2 losses on Tuesday. 28th. So we did have that loss there, 654. I guess we just skipped the first one. It's all good. Yeah, we only had 1 loss on Tuesday. I don't know where the other one came from, but I think I might have just did that incorrectly. All right. Yes, we just had 1 loss on Tuesday. Let me go here and just update the results again. 69 wins and 5 losses. I'm just doing a quick back test, guys. I'm doing like an entire week of back testing within like a few minutes with you guys here. It's not that difficult. The strategy is very simple, so it doesn't really take too much to really calculate. Okay, so there's no entry here, guys. You're looking for a higher high, which we don't have yet, and you're looking for a sell signal to break and close below the pivots 1 and 2. If this candle here breaks and closes below the pivots 1 and 2, then there's not going to be an entry for a sell, which it looks like it's going to close right here in the next 5 seconds. 29th. 329. 644. I win 100. Okay, looking for another one here. 710. $7.30 for a buy. We actually had a lot of, yeah, we had a lot of wins this week. So I'm just looking at this back test from this week so far. We had a ton of wins. Another 804 win right there. All right, so that's it for this day. Wednesday, we had 4 back-to-back wins, no losses. That's going to be 73. I'm almost done, guys. I'll show you guys the total results shortly. And the results are pretty remarkable. That's why I'm like so stuck on this strategy, because this strategy is just so easy and so accurate. Fuck. All right, almost done, guys. Let me go back to the charts. So there's still no entry here, guys. Now that you're looking for a higher high, which we currently have right here, if this here closes with a higher high, you're looking for the sell signal to break and close below the pivots, which we don't have yet, but we'll probably get that soon. All right, 6:30. This was on Thursday. I think this was a loss, right? Yeah, this one like barely missed our TP. This is the one that we took on Thursday, unfortunately. $330, 23, 735. One loss that day. Sure, this one won. $42. 5 minutes. So the one as well. 16. All right, so we were pretty much done with the back test, guys. You guys can see it was super simple, super quick. I'm just gonna add these other ones over here, and then we should be, I mean, basically done at this point. 76. So we actually had a lot of a lot more than I counted initially. So I'll just add in today's, and then we'll pretty much be done with this back test, and I'll provide you guys with the full results just for mine, not necessarily for Vince's, because I didn't calculate his. Okay, we had one right here, which was a this was a loss. $639. Sell for loss. This one was for a win. This was for a loss. So I'm looking at the real-time chart, guys. There's no entries for us right here, so don't worry, you guys are not missing out on anything right now. Already past 8, so I mean, I wouldn't really be looking for anything here to begin with. So the buy. Another one right here. So this right here wouldn't be an entry, guys. There's a higher high, but the candle already broke and closed below the pivot, so there's no entry right there off that candle. Then one last entry right here. 7. All right, so I've done the entire back test. Let me just save this to make sure this doesn't delete. 3 wins, so 79 wins and 8 losses. All right, so let me just show you guys a back test real quick, guys. I literally just did the entire month right now. So let me just go and refresh this real quick. Okay, so these are all the wins and losses for the entire month of March using my strategy that we just looked at. There were 79 wins and 8 losses. I'm gonna have to do the total wins and total losses because I wasn't able to do that. I've only been calculating it from the 6:30 to 9. So basically 79 is 8. Total trades of 87 trades. So 79 divided by 87 provides us with a total win rate of 91%. So, or I'll do 90.8. All right, 98%, 90.8% win rate with yeah, I mean, I'll do the profits later, but I just want to show you guys. So these are all the trades from basically the entire month of March. If you were to trade this strategy from 6:30 to 9 a.m., there was 79 wins, only 8 losses, total win-loss ratio of a 90.8% win rate. Total profit's not correct, so I didn't add in the wins from this week. I mean, I guess I could do that real quick. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 1,800 plus 4,500, 6,300, and then minus, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 times 4 is 1,200. So 5,100 pips. So for the entire month of March, guys, I did the entire back test right here. It's a total wins of 79 wins, 8 losses, win-loss ratio of 90.8%, profit of 5,100 for the entire month. So if you pretty much just traded this strategy like we did for the entire month of March, which we didn't, we only started trading it like middle of March, you'd have a total profit ratio or a win-loss ratio of 90%, over 90%, plus total profit of 5,100 pips. So I think it's a pretty fair exchange. Like for me personally, I would just apply this strategy because you basically guarantee your profitability at the end of the month. And then again, for example, if you wanted to do percentages, for me, I'm only risking like 0.5%. So 79 point times half percentage point, that's 39.50% profit. And then loss over here, 8%. So 8 times 1.5, because if we're risking 1.5%, that's a 12% loss. So if you were to take every single trade from the month of March with this back test right here, we'd have a 39.5% percentage gain with a 12% loss. Total percentage gain for the entire month of March would be 27.5%. So for a lot of you guys here who are like concerned about passing your FTMO, that's 25% gain right there. Right, 27.5% gain. So you basically would have guaranteed your pass of an FTMO challenge because you need 10%. You would pass your challenge within maybe the first couple of weeks, and then you pass your verification right after. So if you took only these live trades, or not even just live trades, if you took the trades, if you have my strategies and my indicators, and you apply the strategy for the month of March, just this one strategy from 6:30 till 8 o'clock, not even 9, 6:30 to 8. And if you included all the losses, even the losses that we didn't take, because we didn't take these losses here. Like, for example, we took the loss on Tuesday and Thursday, but the losses on Friday, on like March 3rd, those 3 losses, we didn't take any of those losses. And we also didn't take any of the losses over here on the 17th. So, I mean, you pretty much would have guaranteed your pass if you did it during March. So it's just risk management's key, and then following the strategy to a T. But you can't be changing strategies today and tomorrow. If you just apply this one strategy, this one, the high-low momentum scalp, and just this one strategy between 6:30 and 8, you'd be perfectly fine. So I will take a PDF of this back test, and I'll send it to you guys in the group so that you guys can look at it and you guys can believe that it works, right? Because I've done the back test in front of you guys here and you guys saw it. Super simple, not very difficult. See, Martha's asking, what is the calculation in money if you're using a 200 lot? So for me, every trade's worth 1,000, right? So basically, if you ran every trade a full TP, basically you just multiply this by 10. So because each pip is worth $10. So 5,100 pips times 10, you would have made 51,000 if you were taking 100, like a regular, whatever 100 lot on a 200K account. So that's basically one account right there. You make 51,000. If you took every trade though, so just keep that in mind. Every trade, so if you took every win and every loss, this is how much you would have made. You just multiply it by 10, because if you're doing a 100 lot, each pip is worth $10. So if you made 5,100 pips, you multiply it by 10, it's 51,000. So not bad. Pretty simple. Yeah, no problem, Martha. All right, guys, so it's way past 8. If there's any other questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Unfortunately for today, we just took one trade. There was about like 5 trades that came up today, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 trades, 3 wins and 2 losses. The only official trade that we're counting is the 1 loss for today. This one that we took down here, or I forgot where we took it. One of the trades here that lost, I think it was this one actually. So unfortunately, we just took this one trade and we ate the loss. For me, that's just like my criteria because I'm not used to losing trades. So overall, we're still pretty heavily in profit for the month of March. So let's see. Yeah, Sam, I'll take a PDF of the back test and I'll post it in the group. If you guys want to make corrections to it, feel free. I probably did make some mistakes, but it's just a quick back test so that you guys have a good understanding of how the strategy works and how accurate it is for the entire month of March. It's a full month back test. We did it during the live session trading and also previous trades before that. Yeah, Nick said he managed to take only 2 trades. I know. Unfortunately, that was the case for you today, Nick, but it's all good. You'll bounce back from that in the following week. CJ's asking, did I ever figure out the pip size for NASDAQ? I actually didn't. CJ, I don't know what the difference is between it. I think they're probably worth a little less. So the profitability is not as lucrative on NASDAQ, but it does work on NASDAQ. So if you want to still apply it for NASDAQ and have a couple more trades running, you can probably do it because Patricia's ran through it and she said that it works very well. So all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com, or message me on Telegram @KodiKaiTrades. If you guys are new here and you guys want to learn this strategy is a very simple strategy. And if you guys want access to the indicators, just go on the website, KodiKaiTrades.com, click on unlock your free access. I'll try to upload a module this weekend for this specific strategy. I don't have an official strategy video yet, but I will post up the mentoring session where we covered it in depth. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, have a great weekend. Be safe. And if you guys took a loss today with me, it's completely fine. We'll bounce back on Monday. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys back here